We are live. We are live. Welcome to college football's peek around the corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash that like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and your friends if you want to support this college football's rebel outpost with a donation. Hit the $sign where you make a comment, and I'll get to Super Chat as quick as I possibly can. Welcome everybody into the studio that sits on the corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to be a legend with the comments in the chat room and with your phone calls later in the show. Let me start off apologizing for yesterday. We were going to do a show yesterday, and I just ran out of time. I ran out of time. So we had to do it today. And can't wait for Friday night. Ricky Tungate, thank you so much, Mr. Hoosier, for your generosity once again for your super chat. We're going to start breaking down each college football playoff game. Indiana, Notre Dame tomorrow. Indiana, Notre Dame. We're going to break that down tomorrow. And I think we're going to do the predictions tomorrow or Wednesday. I don't know yet. It all depends. It all depends, ladies and gentlemen. Everything depends on everything else. Well, I'll get to it in a moment here. Indiana Notre Dame is going to be, it's going to be something. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere. The drama, and of course, we're going to be doing a watch party Friday night, so come join us. The drama, the tension, the pressure, the excitement, it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be absolutely overwhelming for Mr. Ricky Tungate, Mr. Daniel Montcastle, all the Hoosier fans, all the Irish fans. It is absolutely going to be overwhelming. I mean, I'm the fat guy from Minnesota. I have no dog in this fight, and I'm overwhelmed by the dramatics of it all. You know, again, I don't want to get too deep in we got a lot to get through today. But this is college football playoff week. We might not hit the playoff games very hard today, but we will starting tomorrow. It's wild to think about what is at stake in that game. It is absolutely wild to think about it. Freeman gets a big contract. Nicole Auerbach reports Notre Dame and football coach Marcus Freeman have agreed to a long-term extension that will make Freeman one of the highest paid coaches in the country. Holy smokes. Notre Dame, who has been catching elbows from everybody on how they play in the big games, at the big moments. Well, here it is. A big game, big moment, first college football playoff home game, South Bend. It's being played at South Bend. And they're playing against an in-state school that they haven't played against since 1991, the Indiana Hoosiers. The stakes for Notre Dame is crazy to think about. And then you think about Indiana. They win. They go to South Bend and they win that football game. You think going 11-1 was a crazy, impressive, successful result for the Hoosiers? If they beat Notre Dame in the first playoff game, holy smokes. What that would do to Indiana football. It would absolutely blow the roof off of Bloomington. In fact, I'm going to say it right now. I hope people don't do what I think they're going to do, but I mean, my goodness. The parties in Bloomington after that game, if Indiana wins, there is so much stakes to that game. Ricky Tungate, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. We are going to break it down a lot tomorrow. We're going to be breaking it down. Curtis Rourke, Riley Leonard, Ellison, Jeremiah Love, and everything in between. Indiana, Notre Dame. Holy smokes. Thank you, Ricky Tungate, for your generosity. Let's go through the roll call, and then I will talk about what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. Richard L. is in the house. Florida Man is here. Caleb Ramirez, Mr. Buckeye, is here. Stephen McNeely, Ryan Brooks, Chief Fan, let's go Mountaineers, let's go Cyclones, Matt Neeson, Muggy Wow is here. Bimba is in the house. Gene Calderon, the big Lubbock. Humble Bumble Duck is here. Trent Brown looking forward to the PAT shot, money shot of the day. There's a couple different ones. One money shot is, and I'm going to steal the phrase from Tim Pernetti once again, tipping point. We are at a certain tipping point that we're going to get to. And I'm going to push the envelope oh so ever slightly more. This is one of these shows where I could get in real trouble. I mean, real trouble. But I'm not going to, but I am going to push the envelope just a little bit more. The other money shot, besides the phrase tipping point, and it is a phrase I don't ever really use, because I don't like, the information that we are able to forward to you guys is in large part real, unadulterated steam coming from real fire. But the other money shot I would say today is rumors. Rumors, not so much on the message boards, not so much on other YouTube channels, but rumors behind the curtain. Everybody is hearing something different. You want to talk about this drone business? Nobody knows what the hell's going on with these drones. Everybody's got a theory. That's exactly what's going on right now in college football. That's exactly right now what is going on in college sports. Everybody has got a different theory. Everybody has got a source telling them something different. Right now, usually when someone in the PATC family sends me a DM and says, have you heard about this? And I usually say, nope. Or I say, it ain't happening. I say it's something that has nothing going on with it. Now when someone sends me a DM, and a lot of people in the chat right now have probably done this over the last week or so, 2 weeks or so, they send me something. Have you heard this, Greg? And I either don't answer or I say I don't know, because I don't want to shoot it down, because I've either heard of that rumor or of something more crazier than that. So I have not been using the phrase nope lately. I have been using the phrase I don't know a lot, which is not good when you're a National College Football YouTube channel and your name is Peek Around the Corner. But there is a frenzy going on behind the curtain. And I think it has to do with the fact, I know it has to do with the fact that we are completely in uncharted waters. Like big money is coming in. And nobody wants, it's the game of musical chair. Or no, that's a bad analogy. When it comes in, and if it works, you do not want to be the entity. You do not want to be the conference. You do not want to be the school that did not get involved. More on that later today. More on that later this month. More on that later this year. Daniel Gorby is in the house. Sammy Hammond is in the house. Bob Swanger, Michael, Killball, Bo Weevil. Bo Weevil is here. Healing, Florida is in the house. Keep chopping. We desperately need college football leadership. Well, yes. And we're not going to get it. That's the problem. Love to hear from the Money Perch. I report what I hear from Money Subterranean Floor. Illini Ted is in the house. He's happy because Luke Altmaier is coming back. Tumasta is here. Cranky Tiger is in the house. Ryan Willie, please pray for the families of the victims of the school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. Absolutely. To the Christian school, I forget the name of it. Last I heard, it was 3 who are no longer with us, 7 injured, seriously injured. We pray, we give our thoughts and prayers to the families, to the loved ones, and the souls that we have lost today in a shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. Thank you, Ryan Willie, for reminding me of that horrific deal in Madison. All our prayers are with the families and the loved ones. Thank you. Clint Moses is in the house. Jimmy is here. Anthony Carlson. Oh, your bio says we're watching Army versus Navy. Like again? Does my bio say we're watching Army versus... I don't understand that. What did I do? Did I do something wrong? Anthony Carlson, please explain. I'm a little slow. I'm a Golden Gopher. I'm not a Spartan. I'm a Golden Gopher. I'm a little slow, Anthony. Please let me know what I'm missing there. Charlie Atwood, we are in the playoff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jeff Morgan, good afternoon, PATC. Greg, go Mountaineers. We're gonna be taking a poll on that game. West Virginia bowl game tomorrow. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Happy holidays, AAR. Stephen Vitt is in the house. Skaven, yes, yes. Hello, Mad Gopher. Go, Big Red. Connecticut fan. Connecticut fan is in the house. MBM, Indiana. Putting Notre Dame, our mama, on the back burner would be typical Notre Dame fashion. MBM is in the house. Larry Andrick, Mr. Mountaineer. Notre Dame is still mad at Michigan. Absolutely they are. Perch info drop. Yes. Yes. Crazy times in the upper Midwest. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Jose, Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger. Hope this is UFO based. No, it's not. No, it's not. If it's anything, if we ever do anything not college football related again, it's just going to be called, the title's going to be called Peek Around the Country Live Show number 2. That will be the title of it. If we hit that subject or something else. But nobody knows what the hell's going on when it comes to those drones. Nobody. Northern Illinois is expected to join the Mountain West Conference. We shall see. I do not know. I believe there's a Brett McMurphy report out there saying that Northern Illinois is not going to have their final decision for a little bit until after the holidays. Something like that. Something. What a portal week for the Gophers. Absolutely. good news and not so good news. The Gophers have basically hit all their top targets. It's been crazy. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if I know our NIL is getting better. And maybe it's that revenue sharing money. I don't know what. We've hit all our top targets except the offensive line. The Gophers need desperate help. We need to get 2 or 3 bodies in the portal, offensive lineman. We're going after that left tackle, UCLA, and he hasn't committed. He visited, but he hasn't committed. But pretty much everybody else, and Malachi Coleman, the wide receiver in Nebraska, he has not committed yet. But everybody else at the Gophers have A.J. Turner, Marshall's running back, 8.6 yards per rush. I mean, everybody they've gone after, they've gotten. And they just got the defensive lineman, numbers from the second highest rated defensive lineman in FCS last year, Lawrence. It was between us and Oklahoma, Minnesota versus Oklahoma, and we won the recruiting battle. I don't know what's going on. While Crean Morales is in the house, MBM, holy smokes. I didn't even see that. I apologize, MBM. I did not see that until now. Just going through the roll call. 20 gifted memberships. That is a lot. JJ75. Edward Kennedy is in the house. LK Knoll, Adam Vulture, Skull Ducky, Ray, Mark Rutgert, John D, Mr. Seminole is here. Tom DeBay, Ryan, Kalvagas. I'm always butchering that name. I apologize. Terry Kane, Jeff Watson, Dave Valinsky, Ralph P, P Digits, K Struthers, Robert Perez, George Holton, Secret Agent. You've all been gifted a membership by the incredibly generous and kind Oklahoma State Cowboy, MBM. Please, when you get an opportunity, say thank you to MBM. MBM, thank you so very much. Unbelievable. Helping us keep the lights on right off the bat. My goodness. MBM and the 20 names I just rattled off, all of you are officially knighted, cloak and dagger members of College Football Peek Around the Corner. That means you can go on our YouTube channel and go watch membership-only episodes. Thank you, MBM. Mighty, mighty, mighty kind of you. Oh my goodness. Time to be legendary. Brick Bat. Thank you so much, MBM. Wow. Wow. You may have typed it in by mistake when you set the video up. What did I do? What is the title of the show? Isn't it PA Tipping Point? What's going on here? No. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Sparty. I do not know what you're talking about. I still don't understand. People, am I crazy? Go Navy, beat Army? Isn't the title of the show, isn't it PE Tipping Point per Money Perch? Title looks fine. It looks fine on my phone too. I don't know what's going on. Look at your description box. Oh, all right. Okay. Got it. Sorry, guys. When you click on the title, expands into the Army Navy. What are you guys talking about? Hold on. My apologies. Once again, the host is incompetent. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. Let's try something else here. I am all confused. I have never been this confused in my life. Hold on. Let's drop a different... Okay, now what do you see? Of course I fumbled and I lost the ball. I don't even know. Okay, look. I don't know if I'm here or if I'm from 2 days ago or what's going on. Gopher needs a cheeseburger. Okay. Well, now let's move on. I apologize. I do not know what I'm doing. The host of the show does not know what it's doing. It's the drones. You've got Senator Schumer saying, "Well, it's not ours, and it's not theirs." I don't know what's more confusing. This program okay, now I got a problem. Now I got another problem. Okay, let's get on with it. Okay. More money, Perch, more problem. Okay. Yeah, when we get to the back end of the monologue, we are going to have a Money Perch update. Now, usually when I have a Money Perch update, I give a better description of what it is. I say it's the Arizona State Money Perch. I say it's the Florida State Money Perch. I say it's the North Carolina Money Perch. Or I say it's B. Tim and his associates. I did not give a specific Money Perch, and I'm not going to. It's not a whole lot more information, but it is a peek around the corner that something is going to happen. Something is going to happen. And I don't know exactly. I don't think anyone knows exactly how it's going to happen. I'm not trying to sit here and just tease you all, but something is quite imminent. I guess I am teasing you, but there is only so much that we can go today with it. And I'm definitely not going to burn anybody. That's my number one job, is not to burn anybody. Number two is to give you guys the best information possible at the quickest time because this is college football Peek Around the Corner. And we've got a long history of doing that. If you notice, the title of our show it has the word PE in it. If the title is even showing up. Yeah, PE tipping point per money perch. And we're going to give you a little bit more information about that. So that is at the back end of our monologue. The title's still there. Good. Good. What do you make of the comments for the UNC's trustee? I'm not sure what you're I'm guessing you are talking about this one, right? If we don't get into that game, we're going to get left behind. It was now or never, said UNC trustee David Bolick, a former chairman of the board who was elected the state auditor in November. That's what this amounts to. Now or never to have someone like Coach Belichick come in and try to change the trajectory to do something different. Bolick wants UNC in another league, preferably the Southeastern Conference. One hope, Belichick and an in-demand football program can close the financial gap in the short term while positioning the Tar Heels to a conference jump in the midterm. Is that the one you're talking about, Movie Time Blues? If that is what you're talking about, that is not what, that does not involve our update. Movie Time Blues, that does not involve our update of today. So, North Carolina is not directly part of the story we're talking about today. Does the, now, of course, we have said here, Peek Around the Corner, for well over a year, probably 2 years now, that the UNC trustees, the majority of them do want North Carolina to join the Southeastern Conference. We have reported that for a long time. It's true. So, yeah. But they've got, they got to come up with a whole lot of money. They've got to come up with a whole lot of money to keep with their commitment on what they've done here with the Bill Belichick hire. Dabo comment today, everything's going to be different in 2 to 4 years. Yeah. Yes, it is. I think so. I think so. Again, I think everything is going to be different in Dabo's world. I don't think everything's going to be different. Again, I'm struggling because here, okay. Before we get on to all these other news, here's the thing. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the money perch. There is so much money that's ready to come in. And that's going to happen. And there is a growing number of people that are like, okay, let's bring it on in. I mean, it's going to work. I mean, there's a lot of believers out there. Let's get to the news, and then we're going to get to the money perch, because it is about private equity. It is about private equity, as it says. Jamie Thornton, just what the SEC football powers don't want. Add UNC and they become a football power. Yeah, they want, as you know, Jamie, they want North Carolina for a host of reasons. And none of it has to do with football. The SEC institutions want North Carolina students. And they want Virginia students. That's what they want. And they're probably going to get them. Arkansas wants North Carolina students. Virginia students. We are hitting a student apocalypse. And SEC is going to make damn sure that their big SEC institutions do not suffer. And they're going to do many different things. And one of those things is to expand where the demographics would help them. And that is North Carolina and Virginia. Okay. Dalvin knows the Super League's coming. I don't think the Super League's coming. At least not in the form of the two that were presented a little bit ago. I don't think so. But who knows? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okay. Let's get to the stories, and then we're going to get to the money perch. We've got a lot to get to. Kane Udall. And I will get to your super chats and memberships. I just see Flame for Jesus. Thank you so much for becoming an early Pete Cloak and Dagger member. I will get to you after I'm done. Flame for Jesus. Thank you so very much. Kane Udall plans to enter the transfer portal, the great Army running back. We've talked about him a couple times this year. It was Bryson Daly and Kane Udall was the offense for Army. He's going in the portal. He's going to have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Now, I've just, I have read that if Kane Udall goes and transfers to wherever, he's still not going to be entitled to name, image, and likeness money. He is an employee of Army. He's still going to be an employee of Army. That is what I've read. Let me know if I've got it wrong. But I don't think he's going for the NIL money. I think he's going to go try to play football at a higher level and go back into the Army. Quarterback Daniel Kalen, true freshman, Nebraska, has committed to Virginia. True freshman quarterback last year came in the same class as Dylan Raiola. Well, Virginia's got a good young quarterback. We'll see what happens. He's going to be in a quarterback battle because Virginia is in the portal. They're trying to get Billy Edwards from Maryland. They're still going through some visits there at Virginia. And then we talked about Marcus Freeman. Notre Dame's. They gave him a lot more money. Holy smokes. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame. Big story. Penn State quarterback Bo Pribula is expected to enter the transfer portal. The backup quarterback. Now, what he has shown the nation is a lot. He's got wheels. He's an athlete. He's an absolute beast of an athlete. We haven't really seen him throw the ball a lot at this level, but he's going to get a lot of attention. And again, he's not staying with the team. He wants to ensure his spot at the highest level. Franklin is supporting him, saying something has got to change in the college football world. Something has got to change. Something has got to change. They got to move the transfer portal window until after everybody's done playing in the playoffs. I don't know how it's all going to work, but the backup quarterback of Penn State is in the portal, and he's not going to be at the playoff game. Penn State SMU. Speaking of Penn State and SMU, updated weather forecast for the kickoff of the playoff games. Updated. This is today. South Bend, 30 degrees, 30% chance of snow. Indiana, Notre Dame. State College, Penn State, SMU, 25 degrees, partly sunny. Austin, Texas. For Clemson versus Texas, 60 degrees, mostly sunny. And Columbus, Ohio. The Volunteers versus the Buckeyes, 25 degrees and mostly cloudy. Wasn't Tennessee the team that had the heaters on when they were playing somewhere in the Southeastern Conference because it was like 40, 50 degrees? It's going to be 25 in Columbus. Holy smokes. Clemson's backup running back, Jay Haynes, no longer listed on the depth chart. Not going to be the backup quarterback behind Phil Maffa for Clemson. A loss for the Clemson Tigers. Arkansas starting linebacker Brad Spence has committed to Texas. 55 tackles, 4.5 sacks this season, goes in the portal and goes to one of his arch rival Texas Longhorns. Longhorns get a linebacker in the portal. Chandler Morris, North Texas quarterback Chandler Morris, who had an outstanding year this year. He's going back into the Power 4 conference. He's committed to Virginia. Again, Virginia. We talked about the quarterback battle that's going to be going on. Daniel Kaelin, Chandler Morris. Morris will probably get it, right? QB1 to start the year, and Kaelin will be the guy who will take over in 2026. Aaron Nolan, not a surprise, quarterback. The Buckeyes, Aaron Nolan has entered the transfer portal. The true freshman from Georgia was the number 52 overall recruit. And of course, he's going to get a lot of interest in the portal. The Buckeyes are absolutely stacked. Nolan is leaving. Devin Brown is going to leave after the playoffs are over. And we've got the news. Dave Clawson, Wake Forest football coach Dave Clawson, is stepping down after 11 seasons and is expected to remain with the university in an advisory role, sources told ESPN on Monday. The advisory role will include working with the athletic director, John Curry, the school president and board of trustees on athletics issues. Clawson is also expected to play a big role in fundraising at the school, sources told ESPN. Clawson led Wake Forest to 7 consecutive bowl games during a run that included the top 10 appearance in both 2021 and 2022. Those are the highest Associated Press poll rankings in Wake Forest history. The decision to step down was Clawson's, sources told ESPN, as he felt like it was time. Sources compare the decision to recent moves made by Virginia basketball coach Tony Bennett and former Washington football coach Chris Peterson, who both stepped away in part because of the changing era in the sport. Dave Clawson, incredible success at Wake Forest. Unbelievable job. Unbelievable. Wow. And now he's going to stay with the program, right? He's going to be an advisor, maybe an advisor to the general manager, or maybe he'll become the general manager, the assistant to the general manager, something like that. Dave Clawson, no longer going to be the head coach of Wake Forest. So who is on our hot board list here at Peek Around the Corner? We will go through that tomorrow, Tuesday, December 17th. The hot board list of Wake Forest 1.0. We'll give you a couple names. And I think one of those names is going to be Mr. Jason Candle. I'm just going to put that out there for right now. And the big news of all the news, when it comes to the portal, it happened. Washington State star quarterback John Mateer is expected to enter the NCAA transfer portal. Wow, we've talked about it. We've had we've done a couple parts of a couple monologues heading up to this in regards to the true Johnny Football, John Mateer. It sounds like Oklahoma's got the inside track because Art Bunkle, the offensive coordinator of Washington State, is now the offensive coordinator of Oklahoma. But whoever is going to get him is going to have to put up a lot of cash. Mateer's going to Oklahoma, just announced. Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Breaking news. I do not see that news. If you can send it to my direct message. Is a prediction. That's a prediction, not a I'm going to show it here. Has logged a prediction for Oklahoma to land Washington State. I have not seen anything official though. If you've seen something official, send it to me, please. If you see an official announcement from John Mateer or somebody else, please send it to my direct message. Appreciate it. Memphis, West Virginia, Western Kentucky, James Madison, California, UNLV. We're going to be doing a bowl pick games right now. We're going to be doing three of them. So hang on tight here. We are going to get to the Money Perch update, but we got to get through these bowl games, man. We got Memphis Tigers, West Virginia. Does Memphis cover the -4.5 point spread versus West Virginia? Vote begins now. We got 3 games to do. We're gonna do these 3 games. You guys make the predictions, selections against the spread. I will do the 3 games. And then we're going to go on to the Money Perch. Does Memphis cover? 5 more seconds on the vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 67% says Memphis. Western Kentucky. James Madison. Does James Madison cover? Does James Madison cover the 6.5 point spread versus Western Kentucky? The voting begins now. I'm getting a lot of questions here about what Mike Alford just tweeted out. What Mike Alford just tweeted out a little bit ago. You guys might want to take a look at that. We will take a look at it when Florida State's athletic director Michael Alford tweeted out something. We'll get to that in a moment. You guys might want to check it out. Let me know what you think what that is about. 5 more seconds on the vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 58% says yes, James Madison. One more game to do. The PATC geniuses out there. Let's go. California, UNLV. Does California cover the -1.5 point spread versus UNLV? The voting begins now. Going to give you 5 more seconds on the vote. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No. PATC family takes UNLV. Wow, this is kind of I've got the same exact picks as the PATC family. The same exact ones. Without a question of a doubt. West Virginia coaching change, UNLV coaching change, West Virginia, yeah. Memphis is going to roll in that game. I'm sorry, Mountaineer fans in the chat room, although you should be happy because I have not been Greg the Gold at all this year. But this time, this week, it's happening. 3-0. I'm going 3-0, Greg the Gold. Memphis, James Madison, and UNLV. 3-0. Easy peasy. California don't have Mendoza. Absolutely. Big week, baby. 3-0. thus far, but we still have to do the playoff games, more games to go for the weekend. But right now, I think we're both 3-0. Both of us are 3-0. Both of us have pushed away the incredibly horrific picks against the spread. Our winning percentage for the season, it's all just push it away. It's playoff season, baby. Now it's time to rock. And I think you guys just went 3-0 because I know I went 3-0. I know I went 3-0. Okay. They moved up to a Thursday night game. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, now let me get. We got stuff to talk about here in regards to Flame for Jesus. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate it. For becoming a member, you are hereby knighted, cloak and dagger. Thank you so very much, Flame for Jesus. I do appreciate it. Thank you for becoming a member. You can go to our YouTube channel and check out membership-only episodes, early peak Cloak and Dagger episodes. Thank you so very much. Okay, let me do one more thing. I want to clean something up, and then we're going to get to the Money Perch update. It's not going to have a whole lot of information, but consider it. Who was the guy that rode on his horse and said, the British are coming, the British are coming? Right before the Revolutionary War. Who was the guy who rode on it? Paul Revere? Paul Revere. Got it. Consider me the fat guy from Minnesota, Paul Revere of college football, on this issue. Okay, let's get to it. And then when we're done, we can open up the phone calls. You can talk about anything you want. Indiana, Notre Dame, the playoff games, whatever you want to talk about, the portal. I know there's a lot of news we went through, and we still didn't hit a whole lot of things, a whole lot of portal news. So let me know. Just give us a call, 763-260-1333 when we open up the lines. They're not quite open yet. Josh Trotter, the great linebacker of West Virginia, Mr. Trotter is transferring to Missouri. Michael Vick is in talks to be the Sacramento State head coach. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be incredible. Again, I don't have any news on if Sacramento State is any closer to becoming a Pac-12 member. I got no steam on that. But let me tell you about the steam we got. Yeah. Got it. We will get to that in a second, Expedition Greg. We will get to that in a second as well. Money Perch. This is the tweet that I was talking about. From Michael Alford. Let me know in the comments section. Let me know, especially you Seminoles out there, what you think this means. Michael Alford putting out a Batman, a spear. When does he do that? When does he do that? Let me know what you think that's all about. Is it about a new coaching hire? An assistant coach? Coordinator? It's not going to be about a recruit, right? Let me know what you think that is all about. When something big's happening? Okay. It is, okay, so we were told, and I cannot be more specific on the money perch, and I ran it up the flagpole. Now, there's a lot of rumors going on, a lot. And I don't know if the rumor is the right word. There is a lot of dots connecting certain actions in which which reporters and other people are not really, they cannot report on it. Because it's not a happening deal yet. They haven't gotten the heads up. Information is embargoed. And I am not going to break the trust of anybody. I'm not going to break. We harvest the field over and over and over again. So there's not much I can say except for this. We've often talked about how the first 6 months of 2025 is going to be crazy. Right? For multiple different reasons. Sounds good. Sounds good. DJ declaring for the draft. Sounds good. Sounds good. Brett Taylor, he put out a cryptic tweet just before Novell signed extension with Florida State when everyone thought he was going to Bama. So whatever it is, it's good news for Florida State. So we have been told that the money that private equity is coming in and it's imminent. It's imminent. Clue number one. It's imminent. Now, I'm not talking like today, and I'm not even talking about December, and I might not be talking about January. But if it ain't January, it's right after that. It's imminent. That is the thought of the information that people are getting. Like, maybe imminent is not the right word. I'm going to go ahead and use it. It is about to crash through the door. How is it coming in? I've often said here, there is a reason why I have been occupying a lot of PATC's time around this massive issue. because we keep getting information that either we cannot really go into further about it, but or we get different information that some of it is contradiction each other, but still we believe it's good information because it's all leading to big money coming on in. The question is how. Now, the question of how is almost more unknown than the question of when. Because there are at least, I'm going to minimize this a little bit, there's at least one institution that is ready to pull the trigger. And from what is being said out there behind the curtain is that they have the approval, the okay, the support, the willingness, all of that combined to do exactly that. But they are waiting for possibly other entities to either join in and that's as far as I can go with that. But there is one particular school now there could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. There could be a whole conference. But one particular school is sort of they have what people believe is the absolute, this is another hint, another clue. They have the freedom to pursue. They have the ability to pursue this. And they are believers in this. And if they go alone on this, then they go alone on this. I'm going to go back once again and circle back to what Dennis Dodd said, what he tweeted out, what AAC Commissioner Tim Pernetti said. We're at a very dangerous tipping point. As I said at the beginning of the show, I'm kind of sort of stealing that phrase, but not really, because that's how it was mentioned to us as well. We're at a very dangerous tipping point, AAC Commissioner Tim Pernetti, on the inevitable entrance of an outside investment in college sports. An outside investment is coming in. And it may be more than one school. But there is enough smoke coming out of one particular place that more than one particular person is sitting on, poking and prodding, and there is a belief that private equity is imminent. And we have never said that before. We keep saying the first 6 months of 2025 is going to be crazy. Now I'm willing to say the first 33% of the first half of that month. The first 33%, 1/3 of 2025 is going to be crazy. In fact, I'll shorten it up more than that. 25%. The first quarter of 2025 is going to be crazy. Forget about the first half. The first quarter. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to Brett Taylor, I'm going to tell you something right now. Brett, I have two choices. One, not to say anything at all. Not to give anybody a heads up. Or I can do what I'm doing right now. I cannot go any further. Brett, I've had people say that to me when we broke all the other stories that we have broken here at Peek Around the Corner, where we started with just enough information to keep you guys aware of something is about to happen, and then we add on more details later. The hot bubble of action when it comes to Colorado, the Washington-Oregon story, the USC story. Every story we've been on, every story we've broken, this is how we break it. Brett, I am not going to burn my sources for you or anybody else. This is college football's Peek Around the Corner. Our track record speaks for itself. It is not childish. I am pushing it as far as I possibly can push it. You don't like the method of us breaking it? Well, Brett, tell me who broke the USC story? Who broke the Colorado story better than we did? When we gave the hot bubble of action, but we couldn't tell you that it was a meeting. We couldn't tell you that it was a meeting on May 7th, Sunday in Chicago. We couldn't tell you all those details. So we said the hot bubble of action, and then on May 8th, we came back and said the Pac-12 got a shot in the solar plexus. Do you know how many people called me childish during all that? But look what happened. The reason we're able to keep breaking stories, Brett, is because of how we do it. We don't burn anybody. We give you just a little bit more. I'm telling you, this stuff gets embargoed, man. The best I can do is a peek. The best I can do is a peek. Another possibility is SMU. I would like to know more. I would like to know more. I can only give you as much as I can give you. I mean, it's, there is a reason. There is a reason why we opened up the Holy Smokes Theater a month ago. Excuse me. And then just recently, what Tim Pernetti said, there is a reason, Mr. Brett Taylor, that on June 15th, we had Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey walk out of the Holy Smokes Theater, and I told everybody the truth. Expansion wasn't going to happen. Florida State and Clemson, as great a value brand as they are, were not the top targets, and then 6 months later, it gets reported everywhere. The same exact thing that we said on June 15th. There is a method to the madness that we do here at Peek Around the Corner. And we're not for everybody. We're not. Because guess what, Brett? Guess what, everybody? We may have just more information a week from now, and another week from now, and another week from now. We may be able to say a little bit more. There's going to be reports on this. There's going to be written articles about private equity. It's going to be hitting hard. It's going to be hitting weekly. And even if I could spill everything that has been told to me, I still don't know what the hell is exactly going to happen. Because everything hinges on everything else. Let me repeat another clue. Let me repeat another clue. I mean, not another clue. The same clue. The same clue. There is an institution that has the freedom to pull the trigger. Not every institution would have the freedom to pull the trigger right now. Not every institution could get it done right now. Especially when you consider that there is uncertainty because of the House versus NCAA settlement. There is uncertainty out there, and private equity don't like that uncertainty. But even with that uncertainty, there is there is something that we are going to use the word imminent here at Peek Around the Corner. Not to say it's going to happen in the next week or this calendar year, but in the first quarter of 2025. Because at least one institution, I keep saying the word at least one institution has got it all lined up internally and an agreement and everything else. They're waiting on if other people are going to catch up to them. There's another clue. There's a university out there that is waiting for other people to catch up to them. That is another clue. And maybe January, first week of January, I'll be able to push the envelope even more. Now, maybe I should have put this in the Holy Smokes Theater, or maybe I shouldn't have. And I didn't. Because I'm unable to give details about the money perch like I normally do. Can't do it this time. This is as far as I can go. Okay, we're going to open up the phone lines. You can give us a call, 763-260-1333, 763-260-1333. Give me a call. Let me know college football. You want to talk college football? Gotta love Cloak and Dagger. I mean, if this was our first story, I can understand people get bit.
Call from
Rick.
Rick is on the line. The floor is yours.
Oh, you get me torn on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you always have good questions, and I'm probably not going to be able to answer any of them. But go ahead, speak your mind.
Yeah, not really so much questions. I'm just throwing my ideas out, and other people can, other callers can shoot them down. I definitely like everything went the way I was mentioning last week when I thought, well, if Belichick gets the job, then private equity is imminent for UNC. Well, I still wholeheartedly believe that. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're first. Because what we're talking about is who is going to crack the egg. And
that's exactly what you said. It better than I did. Yes, who's going to crack the egg?
And what I'm torn between is two schools cracking the egg. Both of them are private. The first one is Duke. And I say Duke because they have the basketball, I'll call it backup plan, where with private equity, they know they're going to be a $1 billion corporation for years to come. On basketball alone, they're Duke. They also have the finesse to be able to pull off all of this. And thirdly, they'd love for their football team to become relevant and make some money. And they have all the people that can do this, all the Duke brains in business. Maybe the best business school in the country. And then and of course that would be the crack to open up the ACC. The other private institution, of course, is Notre Dame. And Notre Dame just locked up their head coach, so they're good to go. And they have the easiest route, shall we say, to break out of the ACC. And they have the wherewithal to make private equity for Notre Dame. We're talking about amounts of money I can't even fathom. So I'll leave it at that. Those are my two picks. I can't decide between which, but we'll see what other people say. And thanks for letting me speak.
You got it. Beautiful call. I appreciate it, sir. Good call. Great call. Indiana, Notre Dame. Notre Dame favored by 7.5. We're going to be talking about all these playoff games tomorrow, making our predictions, talking about them through the rest of the week. Notre Dame, Indiana starts it off Friday night. We're going to be doing a watch party. Come join us. Watch party.
Call from
BJ.
BJ, the floor is yours.
What's up, Greg? Happy Monday.
You too, sir.
As always, thanks for letting me speak on your platform. If you don't mind, the speculation when it comes to realignment, I kind of don't want to really talk about that because it's just too many variables and it is extremely speculative, right? So, but what I do want to speak on is a few things. The transfer portal, right? And outside of that, just player movement. And who thought it was a great idea to have the portal open during the lead up to the first 12-team CFP playoffs? I've heard nothing but player movement information to the point where the games are kind of like an afterthought, right? Hopefully, I mean, I don't know what's going to affect the viewership, but I don't think the folks in charge of college football thought that through. I would love to hear your opinion on that. But it's kind of disheartening in my opinion.
Well, I think they have thought it through, and I don't think there's a really good. I don't know what the solution is. The problem is a lot of these student athletes want to be able to get to the new schools by the time the next semester or whatever they're calling it nowadays in January begins. So that's part of it. That's one of the reasons why they have it open up now. So I don't know what the solution is. I really don't. I guess they're going to have to delay it. But then you're kind of affecting. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But it's way more complicated than people kind of make it out to be.
Yeah, I mean, we get there's the student athlete is kind of an oxymoron, right? So you have deadlines in terms of school when school starts in the next year, and different schools have different admin requirements. I get it, but you did all this realignment in college football to make more money, right? That's obvious what was happening. And to do all that, to just douse it with the player movement right before the playoff is counterintuitive. I saw the Penn State quarterback came out with a heartfelt, I guess, note on him leaving. And just to put that kid in that position is difficult. It's like he wants to help the team. He wants to, potentially bring Penn State a championship, the first championship in 40 years or so. But he also has to look out for his best interest and make sure that he's financially, okay. So I'm not pointing the finger at anyone in particular, but there has to be a better option, right? That's one.
Yeah.
The second thing about player movement that I kind of want to speak on is there's excitement. It feels like free agency, but like on steroids, right? CBS does a very good job of kind of keeping folks up to date. But all this player movement and fan bases are getting super excited about getting that player and this player. But to me, when you take a step back and you look at it, you're trading the same for the same, right? You made it, in Minnesota's case, Minnesota picked up a plethora of new talent, right? But they lost some talent, right?
No, we haven't. We haven't. We lost.
Well,
we're gonna lose starting right tackle Philip Daniels, who started 4 games for Minnesota this year. That's our only starter we're gonna lose. We've retained all of them. They've already all signed with Dinkytown Athletics. We haven't lost squat, and the Gophers have brought in. They've hit. I don't know what's going on. They have hit almost all of the top targets. I don't know if we got more money than I thought we did or what's happening. But no, it's not a 1-for-1, not even close. I don't know where you're getting this information.
Well, I wasn't saying Minnesota specifically, but teams are losing players
specifically. I don't know. Well, I don't know what's happening, but I know the owner of Minnesota 247. People are shocked right now. We've lost one guy who started any games, and that was 4 in the portal. And we are bringing in guys that were, Turner, the running back from Marshall, who averaged 8.6 yards per rush. We got the number 2 ranked FCS defensive lineman in the country, the second highest grade. It was between us and Oklahoma, and for whatever reason, we won that battle. So sometimes you gain more than you lose. Last year, the Gophers lost more than they lost. 2 years ago, the Gophers got absolutely knifed in the portal, lost way more than we brought in. And that's why we had we didn't have a very good year. So I don't think it's automatically, it's an equal 1-for-1 in the portal. Not at all.
So give me an example, Greg. Florida. Florida had a defensive end, Clyburn, very talented, super productive DN.
Yep.
They lost him, but they brought in like a receiver from some other place, right? So,
Yeah.
so you're Auburn. Auburn lost Cam Coleman, 5-star receiver, right?
Yep.
But they gained a 5-star quarterback. So to me, it's like there are just so many moving pieces.
Yeah.
And there's like this year versus the years before, there's not more talent. There's not more talent that's coming out of high school or coming, in the transfer portal. The difference is there's just more movement. And so there's a difference, in my opinion, there's a difference between movement and progress. And I think it's just movement, right? And I'm glad for kids are getting paid, but it's getting to the point where it's kind of overwhelming. It's like you don't know what team is going to show up. Like I don't know what team is going to show up in in the playoff game. So that's all I'm saying. It's just getting, as a person who likes the game.
Yeah.
It's getting overwhelming to see all this movement, and it's being about the movement and not about the game.
I think we're going to see. I'm thinking we're going to see less movement in the years ahead because we're going to get to some sort of either contracts or some sort of contracts. I think we're going to have less people going in the portal in the years ahead. But we're always going to have movement. And, of course, it is overwhelming when it comes to the bowl games. But, it gives us a lot to talk about and analyze during the spring and the summer, trying to figure out these new rosters because there's so much movement, right? And it makes predicting what's going to happen next year so much more difficult. This movement also brings movement in the standings, as we've seen. Arizona State, Indiana, so.
And I'll just say this, Greg, you're right. It gives you things to talk about. But guess what? Once teams get settled, there's going to be another window in the spring.
Yeah. And by the way, that is when the Gophers are going to lose guys. Because we need to lose guys because we're going to have way too many. And that's all. It's getting overwhelming. And I'll just say this, and I'll get off your line, Greg, is that we all love college football, and I think it's changing, and change is never easy to adjust to or adapt to. But all of this could have been rectified if the people who run the sport came to an agreement for collective bargaining agreement a long time ago. I think until things are collectively bargained, you have things the way we have. The reason the NFL is so amazing, it's collectively bargained. And what I think the NFL does greater than anybody, the pods that they have are regional. And so it makes, when you're in the AFC North and you have Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore, right, you can play 12 other games or 8 other games. Great. But your season is really a 6-game season. Because if I dominate these 3 teams, I earn my way into the playoffs. And I think as national as college is gone, I think if we were to go back regional, where you have 6 or 7 games that are really, really important, I think it'll bring more value to the sport, and it'll bring more common sense. I don't understand what you mean by if I dominate these 3 games. What does that mean?
So in the AFC North, right? In the NFL, you have 14.
Yeah.
If you win your division, you make it to the playoffs, right?
Okay.
If you had smaller conferences where there was 18 conferences or 17 conferences, you can play 12 games, but my season is really these 7-8 games.
Got
it. And I think it allows the fans to really focus on building rivalries. So much movement now there, you don't really have a rival. I mean, Florida State has one in Miami and Florida, but think about the new guys that came to the Big 12. Think about the new guys that came to the Pac-12, the Big 10. So, and maybe I'm just being old and just, you're being complaining old about something.
Just kidding.
But it's just so much, and I just don't have the I'm losing my brain trying to figure out who's going where and what's going and this going to happen. So you lose interest. You kind of tap out. So,
Yeah.
but as always, Greg, thank you very
got
much
it.
for allowing me to speak on your platform and voicing my opinion. You have a blessed day and God bless.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Great call, BJ. Thank you so very much. Yeah, Minnesota got Javon Tracy, and he had 5 visits lined up, all power conference schools. And for whatever reason, he committed to Minnesota. Kind of a shocker. I don't think we're the next year's Indiana Hoosiers. We've got a true redshirt freshman quarterback. It's going to be our starter. So we don't have a Curtis Rourke starting for us. Unfortunately, we'll see what happens. Plus, we got a game at Oregon, a game at Ohio State. Ohio State is the Philip Daniels, our starting right tackle. We do know that Ohio State probably will be the destination. The Buckeyes are going after him. And they're going to pay him good money. And one of the reasons why he went in the portal. We got the Michigan running back as well. Yes, we did. Private equity needs to come in. The ACC is dragging this process along with Florida State and Clemson. There is when it comes to the ACC, there is about 12 different rumors going on and stuff, and it's just can we not go through a year of the court? It is in one aspect, and we talked about this on a live show earlier, it is the leverage that Florida State and Clemson has. Because Florida State and Clemson have sued the ACC, and the ACC has sued back, it has caused the ACC not to be able to do what, or at least plan, or develop a plan, or have meetings, or do what the Big 12's doing. And I think another year of the court system is something that I don't think anyone wants to see. That is the feeling that I get. More than a feeling. But in other words, North Carolina don't want to see it. Duke doesn't want to see it. Florida State and Clemson, of course, they'll keep going, but can there be some sort of resolution? Can there be something to where, and then we have the potential of a new media agreement, minor changes to the media agreement in the ACC coming up here soon? And if that happens, is that going to cause enough certainty or other stuff? Who knows? Georgia has eight players in the portal. Michael Jackson is the only one that hurts us. I don't know how many of the Gophers have, but they got one guy who actually started, and he looks like he's going to the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes. Nobody wants to see it, Greg. Yep, I think because, and one of the reasons that no one wants to see it is because it is so easy to extend the challenges in this court case. Like, both parties can do it easily. 3 different state courts. It's going to go to a federal court. It's going to get appealed, and when it started, everybody thought at first it was only going to hurt Florida State and Clemson. But now it is starting to hurt everybody in the ACC. because it's paralyzing everybody. They don't have the same options that the Big 12 does with all that money that is sitting on the sideline. They don't have the options to, we could grab this to do this. We could grab this to do this. We could get in a partnership with this group or that group. And the ACC can't do any of that. Or it's much more difficult for them to do any of that. Phone lines open. 763-260-1333. The United States government has said we have not identified anything anomalous, whatever that word is, anomalous, or any national security or any public safety risk over civilian airspace. Sightings to date include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as man-fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, even stars that were mistakenly reported as drones. The White House says they have not identified anything anomalous or any national security or public safety risk over civilian airspace. My answer to that is, what about military installations? Because those are the sightings that I take serious. Not the civilian airspace, the military airspace. Right? Over Langley. Over what just happened in Ohio. Over the UK. Those are the ones. I get it. Somebody doesn't like drones flying over their house a bunch of times. I get it. Maybe it's a drone. Maybe it's a helicopter. Maybe it's an airplane. But it's when your own military is saying, geez, there's something flying over Patterson Air Force Air Base, and we got to shut this down. That is what people are worried about. But they're not going to answer it. So, anyways, give us a call, 763-260-1333. And again, the story of today is the portal news. John Mateer, who I consider Johnny Football. Johnny Football is in the portal. Oklahoma, man, if the Sooners get John Mateer, the Sooner fans are going to be real excited. Indiana, Notre Dame, we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. Penn State, SMU. Texas, Clemson. Ohio State, Tennessee. First round of the playoffs. First round of the playoffs. We're going to be talking about all that tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm as excited as can possibly be. We're going to be having watch parties. That first game right off the bat, Indiana, Notre Dame, holy smokes. My goodness. So we talked about all the news, all the portal news. Marcus Freeman gets a new contract. And then, of course, the Money Perch update. Private equity, we're at the tipping point. Something is imminent. We know of at least one institution that has it all cleared, ready to pull the trigger, but they're waiting for others to catch up if need be. There's more to this story. Stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner, because you know how it works. More information, we're going to be allowed to drip out. There's going to be some reports on it sooner or rather than late. At some point, somebody's going to have enough information, and they're going to get the go-ahead, and the information is not going to be embargoed anymore. Someone's going to want to use the information to gain leverage over some situation. We are going to be able to push the envelope more and more and more as time goes on. The invasion of private equity is imminent. So that's the story for today. I want to thank everybody who joined us. I want to thank Ricky Tungate, John Till, first playoff home game ever at Notre Dame. Such a privilege. Absolutely. Absolutely. Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. Again, their interstate rival, Indiana. Thank you so much, John Till, for your super chat, for your continued generosity to our show. Thank you so very much. MBM, Flame for Jesus. Thank you guys for your donations to help us keep the lights on, the phone calls, and the comments in the chat room. Appreciate it all. Keep your head on a swivel. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel. Have your notifications turned on. Smash that like button if you've liked our content today. Hit the thumbs down button if you do not like our content today. I appreciate everybody for coming on in. But again, keep your head on a swivel. Private equity. It's imminent. And we're going to hit this story once again, especially as we head into the month of January and the year of 2025. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please, you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.